if 3 simple words could turn your $800 portrait order into a $2,500 plus order without feeling salesy at all? These 3 words are so simple, your clients will thank you for saying them. And when you use them the right way, they can double or even triple your average order. The words, by the way. I know it almost sounds too simple, but once you hear how to use this technique, you'll never sell the same way again. My student Heather took what was going to be 3 business portraits and turned it into a $5,706 order by using this one technique. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I discovered these 3 magic words, why they work so well psychologically, and then how to use them in a way that feels natural and helpful, not pushy or awkward. Plus, I'll give you real examples I use with my clients, and I'll show you the math on how this one technique can transform your entire business. Let's dive in. Before I ever picked up a camera, I was desperately trying to land my dream job as a marketing director. But every ad agency that I talked to told me the same thing. You need sales experience first. So I took a job in cold call sales, even though, of course, I really didn't want to. And not just any sales. We're talking about walking into businesses cold, getting rejected daily, and it was brutal, but I learned how to read people very quickly because I hated the idea of being pushy. Luckily, I had a great boss who taught us good buyer psychology, not the standard sleazy car salesman tactics, so that we could genuinely serve our clients and increase sales. That's where I first learned the power of by the way. Here's how it would work. I'd finalize the advertising schedule for the advertiser, I'd pack up my paperwork, and right before walking out, I'd turn back to them and say, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing a special section next week that I think would be perfect for you. What do you think about that? And almost every time they'd say, oh yeah, let's do that too. Why? Because the big decision was made, the thing that they needed. Their brain was relaxed and they felt like, oh, this next idea is a helpful one. It's not some fancy pitch. Fast forward to when I started my photography business, and I realized this psychology was pure gold for portrait photographers. Here's what most photographers miss. Everything comes down to your average portrait order. In my early years, I was flying by the seat of my pants. I'd go into every session, every ordering appointment, just excited to take care of my clients, but no plan for selling anything. My sales looked like a heart rate monitor. Up, down, up, down. Some orders were $75, others were $3,000, and I had zero predictability. That's when I tapped into that expensive MBA education, and I realized I need to treat this like a real business. Just like a restaurant tracks their table turns and their average check size, so they know they'll have enough money to cover costs and make a profit, I too needed to know my numbers. The big epiphany, I was doing the same amount of work for a $75 order that I was for a $3,000 order. It occurred to me that if I wasn't systematically increasing my average order, I didn't have a business. I had a whack-a-mole game. So I created what I call my 5-part parachute system. Number 1, I now pre-qualify clients in the first conversation. I don't book anybody until I know that they aren't just looking for the cheapest photographer to give them the most digital files. Number 2, I hold pre-planning meetings in person before every session because this is where we figure out what they want to order so I know what to photograph. Number 3, now that I know what to photograph, I'm able to photograph this session with their order in mind, keeping me from overshooting. Number 4, I hold their hand and guide their ordering appointment so that it's so easy for them to say yes to so many beautiful things for their home. And number 5, I don't let any images get released until they've placed their order and placed a deposit. As I implemented this system, my average orders jumped from unpredictable to consistently over 1,500. then $1,800, then $2,600. And now I've averaged well over $5,000 for more than 10 years. And here's the kicker. I don't live in a wealthy area. The average home price in my city in central Illinois is about $162,000. So if I can do this, you absolutely can do this too. Let me show you the math that will blow your mind. $1,000 average times 50 sessions, that's one a week about, equals $50,000. Let's say you get a little better and you learn a system to serve your clients and your average easily doubles. So now you have a $2,000 average, still doing one session a week, and you're making $100,000. Same work, double the income. Then you keep getting better and you're like, I want to do more. So you have a 2,000 average and you book 100 sessions. That's $200,000 doing 2 sessions a week. Better systems equal better averages. That equals more freedom. And the by the way technique is one of my favorite tools in that system. So here is exactly how I use by the way to serve clients better and increase orders naturally. Timing is everything. The most important thing with your client is to get the one buying decision first. I serve the client in the ordering appointment by helping them choose those things: their wall portraits, their books, or their albums. Once that main order is placed and confirmed, I simply say something like, oh my gosh, you did such a great job. I love the images you selected. I close my computer and I say it with me, by the way, I mocked up a Christmas card layout I think you'll love. By the way, I was thinking a second album would be a great gift for the grandparents. What do you think about that? Right? $2,000 extra. Or it could be, by the way, Father's Day is coming up. Would you want to get anything for Dad's office as a gift? Or maybe you could wrap up a gift certificate for that family session you've been wanting, right? There's an additional session and framed portrait, $1,500 to $3,500. Remember, that's all extra money. Why does this work? It's not trickery. It's because the hard decision is made. They got what they wanted. The brain is relaxed. They've made the decision. And then you're offering one thoughtful suggestion that genuinely serves them, right? It's solving a problem. And it's something in addition to, not instead of what they already were wanting. So it turns or into and. And it's not pushy, it's not hard sell. It literally sounds like you just had a helpful idea. And remember, limit it to one additional suggestion. We can't keep saying, oh, by the way, by the way, by the way. It's just one. Here's what most people do wrong, okay? They show them all the choices up front before they've made the first hard decision. When you do this and you show them everything, it can overwhelm the client. So they'll end up just choosing some, but not all of the things. Or they get decision fatigue and they can't decide on anything. The key is that when you get them to make their first decision, that's when you offer the second solution with by the way, not before. Now, let me talk about why by the way is so powerful psychologically. Because our brains are wired to resist overwhelm. When you present too many choices up front, your client experiences something called decision fatigue. A confused mind doesn't buy. It delays. So you let them make their first decision, you make them feel good about it, and then you present one easy next step, all while they're feeling so good about the first decision. The other cool thing about by the way is it doesn't trigger sales resistance. It sounds like a caring afterthought. Here's what my clients typically say. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have even thought of that. But yes, I love that idea. Or they say, that makes this so easy, Sarah. I was just wondering what to get my parents for the holidays. Like they're so hard to buy for. Or they say, I didn't know you could do that too. Absolutely, let's add it on. And suddenly your order is $500, $800, even $1,500 higher. Your client is more delighted with their experience. And friend, this isn't manipulation. This is genuine service. When you're acting with their best interests in mind, clients can feel it. They're happy to invest more because you're making their life easier and solving their next problem. Let me share what happens when you use this technique consistently. Remember the math I showed you earlier? Well, here's how By the Way fits in. If you're averaging $1,000 per order and you're booking 50 sessions a year, that's $50,000. But if you can add just $500 to each order by using a technique like this, instead of $50,000 in that year, you've now made $75,000, a $25,000 increase for the same amount of work. Get your average to $2,000 through better systems and add-ons like this. That's $100,000. This is how you grow without burnout, my friend. More per client equals more freedom, more income, less hustle. And the referrals, they multiply like crazy because when you make clients feel this well served, they can't help but tell their friends. One of my clients has single-handedly invested over $100,000 with me over the years. Not because I was pushy, but because I consistently served her family's needs in ways she didn't even know to ask for. The beauty of By the Way is that it creates this ripple effect. Better service leads to higher orders, which leads to happier clients, which leads to more referrals, which leads to more opportunities to serve. By the way, if you love what I'm sharing here, you may love our free weekly newsletter. It gives you a quick 5-minute read and gives you actionable ideas to grow your photography business. Click the link in the description to sign up. All right, here's your challenge, and I want you to try this at your very next ordering appointment, okay? Step 1, focus on getting the first order placed and confirmed. Celebrate with them. Make sure they feel great about their decision. Step 2, once they've said yes and you're closing your paperwork or computer, say to them, by the way, I had an idea for you, okay? Step 3 is to present one meaningful suggestion that would genuinely serve them, okay? Make it about their life, their upcoming needs, their upcoming events. Step 4, keep it casual and caring. If they say no, just smile and say, no problem at all. I just wanted to offer it in case it was helpful. Remember, you're not trying to squeeze more money out of them. You're looking for better ways to make their experience even better. The magic happens when you can shift from thinking, how can I sell more, to how can I serve more? Listen, when you genuinely care about your clients and you pay attention to what they need, By the Way becomes your secret weapon for suggesting the right products, the perfect additions, the ideal next steps, all while feeling like you're simply being helpful. Try this once. I promise you'll be amazed at how often they say, and more importantly, you'll love how good it feels to serve at this level.